Hey, what's up guys? Jeremy here. In this video, we will do a quick overview of the software. Make sure to set up a vocabulary so that we use the same words to define the same thing in our RoboDK environment. And I will show you a few tricks regarding how to properly organize your work while using the software. So here we have an assembly station provided by one of our partners here, DIY Robotics. I'm going to start the main program, just like that here. So first of all, here you will have what we call the simulation environment. This will be where most of the work will take place. On your left, you will have what we call the station tree. So this is where all the different objects, targets, programs, sub-programs will be defined and stored. So this is where you will create your actual program. On top of that, here you will have what we call the toolbar. So the toolbar is full of all the most commonly used tool. So you can think of opening the online library to get some robots. You can think about adding some frames, some targets, repositioning your station, activating the collision detection feature, creating programs, creating motions, adding timer, program calls, I/O activations, simulation event. So a lot of stuff will happen here in your early days of RoboDK. Then you have on top of it here, you have what we call the main menu. So a lot of the features that you see here will be available under these menus, but you'll also have access to much more features. So here, teach target on surface. You can change your simulation speed. You can add some rounding. You can set a tool, set a frame, stuff like that. So super useful. Under view, under tools, there's a lot of stuff that you'll be able to do. Change color, measurement tool, create curves, run some plugins, as we already did, change language, or go and reach the option win panel. Under utilities, you'll be able to define your TCP, define frame, create advanced curve following project or machining project, 3D printing project, create mechanisms, synchronize with external axis, even some robot calibration here. We'll talk about that later. This is a very specific topic. You'll be able to connect to a robot or a tracker. So all of the feature, more advanced feature are under this main menu. Here you will also have the slider. So the slider lets you run the different motions one by one, just like that, so that you can really look for little pieces of your program. I will simply hide this station for now and rerun this project here so that we can go a bit closer and take a look at it. So in this case here, I'm going to slow down this simulation a bit. I'm at 5:1, which is, by the way, the default simulation ratio is 5:1, meaning that 1 second in RoboDK represents 5 seconds in real life. So you just need to be aware of that. Things generally looks a bit slower in a simulation environment compared to a real full-size robot moving besides you. So don't be fooled by the impression that things are not moving very fast in the 3D environment. So here what we're doing is we're creating an assembly process with old school Game Boy. So if you were alive in the 90s, you might have played with one of those at some point. So we're taking a sub-assembly from here, placing it under 2 finger grippers, bringing back a backplane. We are screwing in 4 screws, picking the battery pack, placing it in place, and then we have some back panel that we're entering at a 45-degree angle and positioning. Then we pick up the whole assembly with a 2-finger gripper and placing it on the out conveyor. So to give you an idea, I did the simulation myself. The 3D models were provided by the partner. And it took me about a day of programming from receiving the 3D models up to having the result I have now. It's about a day of work. I think I could do that a bit faster now. I've created that station, I think, like 2 years ago. I've improved a bit since then, but yeah. Okay, so this is for the station itself. On the side here, as I already said, we have our station tree. You'll be able to find your robot, the different tools that are attached to the end of arm or the flange. You will see your different projects or programs. So here you can see, I'm gonna hide that for now. You can see the main program with the different sub-programs that are called one by one. Now I went back to the home position. You can see there's like folders that you can create to organize your work. I would highly recommend you to organize your work with folders if you create somewhat big projects. That will make your life much easier in the long run. I would also recommend you to make sure to have significant name for your programs, your targets, your frames, everything in fact. That will also take a bit more time while programming, but will be much easier when it comes to debugging and stuff like that. So being organized is honestly the key if you want to be efficient and have a great experience with RoboDK. A few things, RoboDK works a lot with the keyboard. So this hand here should be stuck on your keyboard at all time. You'll be pressing shortcuts. I will make sure to name the shortcuts as I'm using them so that you're not like just staying there not knowing exactly what I did. So I'll make sure to really name every time I'm pressing a key on my keyboard. But also you need to see that all the shortcuts are kind of written to the side here. So you can always have a visual reminder of what shortcuts you should press. I would recommend you to try to use the shortcuts as soon as possible in your learning curve RoboDK. That will save you a lot of time and make your work way more efficient. Another thing, last thing before we actually jump and start playing with RoboDK, is that a lot of stuff are available by right-clicking. So if you right-click on the robot, you'll have a ton of features or options that will appear. Same if you click on an object. Same if you right-click here in a program, you can add instructions and stuff. So using the right-click on objects is always a good idea if you want to find some features or options that would be hidden a bit. Okay, that's everything for this video. In the next one, we will open a real station and start playing with a real robot. See you there.